Hi everyone, it's Barry in Jerusalem. This week's Parsha is Shabbat Chazon. Chazon is the name which means a vision. And the idea was that when the Torah was actually created and there was a concept of prophecy, it is a prophecy of Moses, who was the world's greatest prophet and a truthful prophet, because there's also false prophets and false ideologies and false belief systems. So the Jewish people brought to this world a system that needs to work on the basis of emet, which is truth. So Moshe Rabbeinu got the calling when he was 80, and then he by the burning bush, the vision of Hashem came to him in fire, but the bush wasn't consumed. So we today are in the third week of a constellation of the 3 weeks, which culminates after this Shabbos. On Tuesday is Tisha B'Av. Monday night is the 25 hours fast. And we still mourn the temple, because in a basic way, the Jews are scattered in the diaspora, it's called. And this dispersion has been for some almost 3,000 years. It was more than 2,000 years ago, and then the second temple was destroyed within 500 years. And they both were destroyed on this special day that we fast, to remember the temple, to remember the sacrifices, because the sacrifices was a way of our atonement. Now this way of atonement now for the Jews of the diaspora is Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah is the new beginning of the years, and Yom Kippur, the judgment is sealed. So we still have to take each time, each day, each week, and put things in perspective. You see, we have to remember our roots and where we come from. So that's why this time is very special. But God always challenges us. That's his purpose. That's our purpose. He challenges us, actually, if we kind of understand it, to be better. Some people are really tried through trials, and some people lose their faith. But the concept is, a Jew who does Torah and mitzvahs increases their faith. And that's what our belief system is about. So this time, this new book, this Shabbos, is called Shabbos Devarim. Devarim means, Devar means a thing. So what are the things they're talking about? Well, the thing that I just mentioned at Sinai was the 10 Commandments. We in English call them the 10 Commandments, but in Hebrew it's the Eser Devarim, the 10 things, or we would most appropriately translate it as the 10 utterances. In other words, abracadabra. The modern magicians of the world take hocus pocus and avodah zarah, which is foreign worship, and they say, when they're doing a magic show, abracadabra. But abracadabra is really the Aramaic, it's the Old Hebrew, the time which means I will abracadabra. I will make as I speak. So the idea is that he created this world through speech alone. And ironically, it is through our speech that we become godlike, because when we make our speech proper, then God is coming through us in a channel. And this is very central to understand the emes, or the truth of what the Torah is trying to teach us. Abacadabra, it's not magic. It's not about worshiping idols of stone or wood. It's about connecting with this source from above, from the heavens, and then manifesting a better life of blessings through connecting with this external force that we really can see. It has no physical quality, but it's an energy, a spiritual energy for Jews or for anyone to tap into. Because in this time period, the Jews are being tried more than ever. And now our enemy says on Tisha B'Av, which is they kind of understand the Jewish ego and philosophy and psychology, that when you attack the Jews, you attack them on the day that they're most vulnerable, which is Tisha B'Av. But what I'm telling all the Jews is it's a little bit different this time around. This time around, God is running the show. He gives us a choice. He gives us a connect. We choose to disconnect. We have this concept of reward and punishment. And everybody goes their own way. But in the end, he's going to reveal himself again. And this time, which is normally a time of like serious depression, because we no longer have the temple. And we're still mourning thousands of years from the temple. And God, the rabbis tell us, is like homeless. As a matter of fact, he allowed his temples to be destroyed in order not to destroy the Jewish people. So he's telling his Jewish people, I'm with you. Even this Tisha B'Av. And Chazal tells us that even on Tisha B'Av will be a day of sadness turned into a day of joy. So we have to kind of focus in on the time. Back to the Future was my last Devar Torah, the one before this one, last week. And this week is Back to the Future 2, which is really kind of sifting through all the negative energies and guarding our tongue and our speech, because it was known that the respect, even though the Jews were perhaps more learned when the temple was built, and but even on the second temple, there was a certain respect with our words. So this is Parshat Devarim, the words, the things. Actually, words are milim, but Devarim, this is a admonishment to the first 4 books or 5 books of Moses. It's called Tochacha. And this is saying, this is repeating. We always have to repeat. We have to look back behind us to move forward. We have to constantly build, and we have to see where our roots are. Now we could absorb into the larger cultures which have no real identity. But the Jewish people have a very strong identity that the other religions even came from. And because we don't no longer have a temple, that these other religions think that they have one up on us. We don't have to say which religions they are, because we know who they are. And there's, of course, the Far East idol worshippers who worship money, don't worship God, who worship an image, a Buddha. We have to see that there is a real energy out there controlling the world, and it's not going to be any of us who will merit that this redemption unless we're open to it, unless we're contrite unless we come to understand the Creator and His purpose for the Jewish people. So this Tisha B'Av is a very good time to reenact what is your purpose as a Jew, and try to be positive and try to accept what's happening and try to welcome that this darkness in the world, where all these anti-Semitic acts against the Jewish people are coming to fruition right now. And God is running the show. Even though He gives us freedom of choice, He can intervene in the choice of anyone. Just like with Bilam, we gave was to curse the Jewish people. He ended up blessing. God put the speech right in his mouth, just like He's putting the speech in my mouth. I'm channeling down this energy. And on Tisha B'Av, I'll try to go live and I'll try to see what we can do. I'm not too computer savvy, but maybe I'll get some response to all these topics. I've been doing this for over a year now to try to get some understanding to the Jewish people and try to get them to see that there's hope for us. We don't have to absorb into the larger culture. We don't have to change our genders to pure normal or universal. We don't have to side with any political element that feels they have the right aspect of the values for mankind. We have to each find our own value. And if you're a Jew, this is the best weekend, the best Shabbos Chazon, to look into your tradition and come Monday night, fast, 25 hours, pray to God for the rebuilding of our temple in our days. And we shall merit to see the great light again, where the sun and the moon, when they were created, had an argument. And God said, one day there will be a time where this light will be more equal. There will be less darkness and more light. So right now we're in a world of darkness. We're trying to find our way out of the tunnel, so to speak. But with the help of God, we'll do it with happiness, with joy. This Shabbos, when Shabbos comes, you have to be happy. You have to show joy. You have to be grateful. That's only what the Torah wants from us. And if we teach our children properly, then they become grateful to their parents. But if we let them run wild, then there's nothing. Then there's just a lot of social welfare systems created to take care of dysfunctional families. I'm not saying all the families are normal. Most families are dysfunctional. But we still have a focus to go in the way in which our parents have as Jews, to go within the tradition and seek the light of Torah for the ultimate day, and that great, what's called Shabbos Gadol, where the third temple will be destroyed, will be renewed, perhaps coming from above this time. And we'll see more miracles than we saw when the Jews left Egypt, when He split the sea as they were running from the Paro, and the Paro was drowned in the sea, and the Jews danced when they crossed the sea, when the sea opened. These are not mere stories. These are actual events that happen. And yes, we can see miracles, but we have to be open to them. So I wish everyone a good, happy Shabbos, easy fast, and hopefully I'll try to put out a video on Tisha B'Av itself and bring some new hope. But let's hope that the Messiah comes, Mashiach will come even before. Mashiach cannot come, the sage system cannot come on Shabbos. But it's only like 48 hours to Tisha B'Av right now. It's an hour before Shabbos here in Jerusalem. So he could come Sunday. So we won't have to fast on Monday night. So that's how it works. In any case, take each day as it is. Try to find the good in everyone. God bless you all. Have a good Shabbos.